What I realized over the last several months here, I've been talking in some of our private events, some of our masterminds, some of our platinum members, and that type of thing. And what we've realized is obscurity is so much bigger than I originally anticipated. For an awful lot of agents, they're fighting obscurity, just meaning nobody knows who they are. It's not that they don't like your message, they don't get your message. What is a brand? It has nothing to do with them recognizing you. It has nothing to do with them thinking you're number one. It has nothing to do with them knowing your logo or your photo or your slogan or any of that stuff. None of that has anything to do with brand. Now, I know that you think you lead a boring life. I think the same thing. I don't necessarily so much anymore, but for a long, long time, I felt like I led a pretty boring life. I'll tell you a little story about me. When I first started doing really, really well, Gary Vee was a lot younger, and I met Gary Vee. We were all a lot younger back then. I met Gary Vee and learned a little bit about him. And he has a guy named, I think, D-Rock is what they call him. And that guy just follows him around with a camera everywhere, and they just chop up whatever they need. So about his day, he's on a call with someone, he's meeting with someone, he's doing whatever. He's got a video guy that follows him around. And at the end of the day, they take the highlights and they make that highlight reel. And that's how he became famous online. And I'm like, I'm going to do that. That's how I originally hired Josh 9 years ago or whatever it was. And I quickly realized that I'm like sitting at my desk. I walk to the bathroom and I come back, and I walk to the fridge and I come back, and I walk to the bathroom and I come back, and I walk to the fridge, and then I'll go outside and check the mail, and then I come back. And I realized, like, maybe I don't really have that exciting lifestyle that everybody wants to see what's going on, but I figured out a way to make that work and didn't need anybody to video me to do that. So you have some stories in your life, and it's usually the trials and tribulations that you've pushed through that you've done really, really well with. And I'm telling you, the more you can be relatable about that, and particularly if you can provide a lesson for someone, the more tied your list is going to be to you. And you know what I found most agents' biggest problem is? They don't even have a list. They have like what they would call Zillow leads, or website leads, or Facebook leads. They don't have an audience that they're talking to. I would say, oh, those leads are 4 months old. Okay, what have you sent them in the last 2 weeks? Nothing. Nothing, like not even a typed email? Nothing. Then you do not need more leads. Look at what you did with the last ones. You don't need more leads. We have to fix the way that you care for them before we give you more. You remember when you were a little kid, you had to carry around a loaf of bread to prove that you could have a baby, right? Like if you can't keep this bread from being squished and molded and rotten and wet within 1 week, you certainly can't have a baby. And that was a lesson we had. What was it? Home ec back in the day. We had to do the carry the bread around. And it's kind of the same way here. Like if you've generated 150 leads and then you say, well, those babies are no good, I need more babies. That's a bad deal. You need to nurture better. You need to be a better nurturing parent of whatever is provided to you for you to care for. If that's seller leads, buyer leads, whatever the case is, they have to trust you. They have to know you. They have to look at you as that authority or that parent figure. They have to look at you as that person. So I want to be careful not to make you think you need to do video or you need to do what I'm doing right now. You don't. It would help, but you don't need to. You're doing this in a very small market. Your market is not the country. It's not even your state. It's your city, or even a sub area of that, a suburb of your city is where you really want to be famous. Now, you can do that with a forward-facing camera. Here's our local restaurants. Here's our bar. Here's our the boat ramp that everybody goes to, and this is fun on the weekends. And people go fishing out here and show our area. You could do a video, one of the best videos you'd ever have. What it's like living in Columbus, Ohio. What it's like living in Tampa, Florida. What it's like living in Houston, Texas. Because people that are going to be moving there, we call them relocation clients. People that are going to be moving there, you know what they want to know? What it's like living there. My husband's being forced to move there. I'm getting relocated with my job. We've never been there. We don't know anybody. We're leaving our friends. We're leaving our family. It's just us, our kid, and our dog. And we got to go all the way across the country. What's it like to live in San Diego? I don't know. Let me look on YouTube. doesn't have to have your face, and it's not about you. It's about the content that they would be looking for. Well, guess what? They start following that. They start having an interest, and guess who's going to help them in finding their home on the water? That would be you. So these are some things for you to kind of think about, because there's a lot we're going to be doing to build your list, build that universe of people that know who you are. I can get you the contacts. I can get them to opt in with you. I can get them to request info. That's a lot easier for me to do than it is for me to get you to contact them, to get you to stay in touch, to provide value, to build a brand of who you are. Trust me, there's a whole lot of people that don't like me. I'm cool with that. That's fine. I don't care. I want to do a better job for the people I'm helping. That's what I'm looking to do. I want to do a better job for the people that I am helping, that I can do a great job for and make a meaningful impact in their business. If you have those leads and they don't know what value you represent, they're not reading your freaking mission statement that you spent 3 days and asked everybody's opinion on. If this mission statement sounds good, that happened before there was video. That worked before there was flip videos. You guys remember flip videos? We would carry this thing around and we could record big fat white thing, and then you could click a button and a USB would pop out and you could plug it into your computer. You guys remember flip videos? That is when it changed the game, that print's not going to work the same. Mission statement on your website or on your business card is not going to work. Now they want to hear it from you. They want to know about you. So you can do that. You can still do print if you're mailing them a physical newsletter. You have some type of article on Facebook or in your email or even texting info or anything like that. The more you can show that you are human, that you do go through the same things that everybody else does, that you have hobbies and interests maybe that they can relate with. You know, if you've been in the military, or if your family member has, your spouse, you are crazy if you don't talk about that. I'm telling you, every military person in your town trusts you more than they trust me if I were in that town, because of that military tie. If you are, or your family member was a teacher, a police officer, a fireman, a nurse, a doctor, any hero type jobs, you have to mention that as often as you can. They will naturally be more tied to you. A military spouse trusts and confides in other military spouses. Spanish are naturally going to tie more to Spanish. Chinese are going to naturally tie more to those that speak their native language or are from their native location. There's something that relates with them that they know we've got this bond together. There's something you have that you could utilize that. So I really want you to kind of think through that. That's how you develop a brand. It's not put your picture and your logo on something and mail it 9 times so that they recognize you. The more you mail it, the more it pisses them off. They don't know anything about you. You're just clogging up their mailbox with someone that they're not relating well with. So that's just showing you want their business, not showing you want to earn that friendship or mutual respect or some type of synergy you're creating together. Nicole, what are your thoughts on this so far? I know we've talked about this a couple times. Let me know your thoughts on this and what you've seen from some of the agents that have made those changes.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're tying it into something that's relatable to your life, you're able to talk smartly about it because you have that synergy, whatever that niche is. So, as Greg just mentioned, the firefighters, we had an agent in California who did a whole thing with anybody in the medical, firefighter, first responder. She had a specific program because her husband was in that world and she knew it well. So, she was the wife of, I think he was a fireman, but she was a wife. She had been in that world. She had seen a lot of things. She kind of heard nuances about their lifestyle. And she was able to do the dog whistle where she put that out there and she attracted them magnetically to her. And it was just a more natural way of doing things. So if you're able to identify something like that, and showcase it and market it properly, it makes a huge difference. We've had golfers. I mean, even just knowing golf terms. Like, I don't, what is it, birdie? I have no idea. I have no golf knowledge. But if you are an avid golfer and there's golf communities around you, you can go with that lingo. You're talking their language, they understand you. So think about, I mean, you probably off the top of your head are like, I got nothing. But if you stop and
Yeah.
think and you just think of your life and like the places you've been, you have something. There's definitely something there.
Well, and look, I mean, I know we make fun of them now, but those of you that have been licensed 20 or 30 years, I'll tell you something that's kind of corny, but it worked back then. If you had nothing else, take a picture of you and your cat. And when you use that as your agent photo, I know it looks stupid to people that don't have a cat, but to those that have a cat or that have a dog, if you're with your dog or whatever, they know what that love is. So there's something you can do, and we're not doing it by photos now because we're far beyond all of that, but there's something you can do to relate with your list a little better so that if I throw 1,000 people at you, you're actually going to convert them. You're not going to call and say, I was just wondering if you were looking for a realtor yet. Oh, you already got somebody? Okay, thanks, bye. That was a bad lead. You never need to ask them if they're looking for anybody. Be that person.
Hey, it's Greg Luther, and listen, if you don't follow this channel, there's a good chance you're never going to see me again. I consistently put out regular content, and it's extremely helpful for real estate agents to grow their business. I want to keep you up to date on what's working so that you're in the know and you can take action accordingly. So be sure that you like and comment here, but most importantly, make sure you follow, share, and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on anything. I'm here to help you in growing your business, and I'd love to do so. Follow right now.